Hey, welcome to another episode of Chad's Beer Reviews. We got a new guest reviewer. This is Brett, fellow member of Albany Brew Crafters Homebrew Club. We just did an interview with him, so go check that out on this channel. But since he was here, I thought we might as well... I needed his help to drink this beer. This is a big beer. The Stone 17th Anniversary Götterdämmerung IPA, 9.5 ABV.
That was a good pronunciation.
There's a video where they talk about it. But anyways, it's kind of neither here nor there. I mean, it's a Stone IPA, so I'm really excited. You know, they usually make good stuff. We got it's like a apricot skin color.
Yeah, it sure does. It's got a nice haze to it too. And I assume that's from the copious amounts of hops they've used.
It's not. Yeah, it's like translucent. I can see little carbonation bubbles.
Oh yeah.
Inside the glass. I can smell it as soon as I pop the cap. It smells great.
Oh yeah, it's a nice.
Very fruity.
Yeah, I'm getting a little pine there too. Like almost like a Cascade type pininess.
I think here it is. Like they use all German hops. It says.
Oh, so there's
Herkules, Hersbrucker, Magnum, Merkur, Opal, Smaragd, and Strisselspalt. Like, I've only heard of a few of those. I've used Magnum in IPA. I've never even heard of most of those.
I've heard of Herkules. It's a very high alpha, similar to Columbus, I believe.
Right.
Along those lines, the CTZ. And Hersbrucker, I think that's an aroma hop.
I think it's a daring brew to use just German hops.
You don't see that much of that.
In an American style IPA.
Much less a West Coast brewery too.
Yeah. Alright, ready to dig in here?
Cheers.
Cheers. Did you get I got like a rye bread flavor on the end.
Oh yeah, it's got a nice spiciness finish there. I got initial just caramely and malt up front.
Yeah, it's a very malty imperial IPA.
Oh yeah.
It's and you can smell the alcohol too. I forgot to mention that when we were talking about the aroma. It has like this almost like vanilla kind of aroma to it. It's sweet, but it's not cloying.
No, it's right on that border of being cloying. When I first tasted it, I thought it's gonna cross that line and just coat your tongue, but the alcohol and the hops really cuts that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like it just changes on a dime.
Yeah.
It's like sweet malty up front, almost to that point of being cloying, you know, almost like a barley wine or something. And then just out of nowhere, all you get like this subtle alcohol warmth, and you get this it's just like to me it's just like rye bread. I don't know if they use rye in here. I probably should.
A lot of those German hops are very spicy though. A lot different than the fruity and citrusy and melon-like hops of the West Coast that are traditionally used by Stone.
Dry hop with Sterling.
I could see this falling towards cloying if you let this age, and really falling out of balance. It's almost, if you almost don't drink this fresh, it almost wouldn't be nearly as balanced of a beer.
Yeah, and we're drinking this at fridge temp too, because I think that is important. You let this warm or you let this age, it's basically going to have a barley wine. And I don't think it would work as that.
Oh, there's just not enough malt complexity without those hops to really kick it to the next level.
Yeah, I kind of got mixed feelings on this one. I mean, I admire the daring, the innovation to this one. Instead of, there's already a million IPAs and Stone's made 99 million of them, American hops and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So, this is definitely not like what you're used to. Usually when it's Stone, you get citrus, grapefruit, tropical fruits. Like you were asking about the coconut IPA before. Like, same brewery, completely different beer.
Yeah. It's amazing how hops can play such a vital role in creating such a different beer. I assume that, they might have a couple lighter colored caramels here, or maybe a carapils there, or maybe more pills or two-row in one versus the other, but generally when you're making a really hop-forward beer like this, the malt isn't what drives it. It is the hops, and it's crazy how it can be so different.
How would you describe the drinkability of this one?
I mean, the finish is nice and dry, but I almost kind of like to let it sit on the tongue before I take another sip. I know that was very vague, but I don't know. We're about right down the middle, maybe a 5 out of 10 drinkability for me.
Yeah, it's I mean, the actual mouthfeel is nice. Like it's on the thicker side, but it still has like that IPA crisp.
You know, the more I drink this, the more spicy it's becoming from the hops. Like the hop spiciness, obviously not capsaicin spiciness, but the more of that herbal, spicy characters coming through.
Earthy,
yeah.
Well, I mean, I've had beers where it's like you're just like licking a pine tree, you know? This is like, it's very, I'm still getting that rye bread.
Yeah, it's definitely not, it's not towards that pine resin, it's more towards that spicy earth, like you were saying.
What do you think?
Yeah, I could see 7 for me. It's just, you know, you take a sample of beer and you try it and you're like, oh, this is good, I can have a bunch more of that. But then when you actually go to have more of that, you're like, oh, maybe I don't want more of this. And I feel like this falls into that category. So I give it like a 7, a solid 7, if not leaning towards.
I forgot to tell people at the beginning that you're BJCP certified. If you were going to score this on the 50-point scale, what do you think it would probably come in at for you?
Judging it against an American double IPA?
Yeah.
I don't know, mid to high 30s probably.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. You know, I think I'm going to drop my rating down. I mean, you said 7. I don't feel so bad saying 7 too. You know, we were like a 7.5, something like that. I don't tend to do half grades, but you know, I don't know. I mean, like it's stone. Like if I was drinking this blind, I probably would have definitely written like a hard 7.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't have had to like waver. But you know, it's like it's stone. I love stone. But so like I tend to be a little generous, you know. But,
and obviously it's a flawless beer. Technically flawless beer.
Right.
And so it really just comes down to flavor and preference at that point.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, I mean, this is one serving is good, but I don't really need more than this. And as far as situational pairings, I mean, it's so dry. It's almost like salty. It's like, what are you gonna pair this with? French fries?
Better go good with a rack of lamb, some rosemary,
or like pulled pork or something. That's contrast.
Oh, I can see that. Oh, the sweetness of the pulled pork and the spiciness of this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I'm getting hungry. All right, so thanks to Brett for coming over and helping me
Thanks for having me.
beer. And thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Cheers.